I.S.U.P.K presents separating from the white man and America. We putting it all out. Come to the lecture. Learn how to separate from the white man and America. We gonna have our own. We gonna be on our own. We won't need the white man for a damn thing. I.S.U.P.K presents separate from the white man and America. Lecture with Officer GEN.YAHANNA of the I.S.U.P.K. September 24th. 300 Nicollet Mall, Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's going down.
SHALAM, all of my sisters. From 125th, 1 West Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yahanna. A little bit ago, we caught Reverend, so-called Reverend Jesse Jackson at the governor's mansion, and we asked the brother about separation for our people. He didn't have no answers for us. So now we out at the Mall of America in Minnesota asking folks, what do they think about separation? Black folks, white folks. We're going to get some information because we got this lecture coming up, which is September 25th, right? Or 24th. September 24th. All right, separation. You know what I'm saying? Separate to survive. So we're going to get to asking some of these people here. I'm saying, do you think it's time that the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans separate from the other nations?
Yeah, man, totally.
Definitely
agree.
That's right. So you familiar with the killings that been going on, like the Philando brother and the Hispanic brother out in LA recently and all that? How does that make you feel, man?
Well, honestly, it makes me feel like it makes me feel that our races, the blacks, the Mexicans, and the Native Americans, it makes me feel like the whites think of us as like we're not worth as much as they are. Like,
that's right.
Like that we're below them.
That's right.
And it's going back to like the past back then, where they do all that segregation and all that, and then I feel like that's what they want to bring back. And then that's why they're trying to do with all those murders and all that, especially with the white cops shooting and killing all of our different kinds of races. Right. So it makes us feel like a minority. Yeah, it's always them.
It's always them killing us.
Yeah.
So my question is, right now, wouldn't it be? Do you think it would be a better place if all the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans had their own place, and the white man go with his people and have his own place somewhere else? Do you think it's time for the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to separate from the other nations? Like, you know how the so-called white man got his own nation, the Asians have their own nation, the Africans and everybody else. Should we separate, or do you think we should stick around?
I would say honestly that stick around. I mean, this may be a white dominant nation, but we do need you guys to make that change and to bring us into more of a unity. Because I don't think, just a one race or one whatever nation is really, especially when we're called the United States. I mean, we're supposed to be like one person, like a group of various people. So I think we need people from other countries here. We need people of different races, different nationalities, from different cultures, and so different religions too. I think we always say that all of our political leaders are saying this is the greatest nation in the world, and right now I think that's the biggest lie ever because of what is happening. And so this is the place, this is supposed to be a place where that's not supposed to happen. And so I think we need everyone to come together and make a change to make this the country that it should be.
Don't you think it's time that we separate from all the other nations? For instance, the Asians have their nation, the Africans have their nation, the so-called white man has his nation, the Arabs have their nation, and blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans is a nation as well. So we wonder, should we separate from the other nations since we've been getting killed over 450 years, or should we stay together with all the other nations? So what do y'all think? He said that's a good question. He said that's a good question.
He won't have a nation.
He won't have a nation at all.
Because I'm Hispanic and he's Asian, so why would we have to separate?
I'm talking about blacks, Hispanics as a whole. I'm saying, should we get away from the people that's killing us for over 450 years, or should we stay around the people that keep killing us and keep trying to love them, or should we get away from them and go somewhere and be our own people and have our own nation?
Man, that's still a hard question you ask. That's a good question too.
Part of me wants to say yes, but the other part of me wants to say like, why can't we just everybody?
Okay, since you Hispanic, right? And the brothers, right? The guy right here is Asian, of Asian descent. Which Hmong, whatever, huh? Cambodian. Okay, he's Cambodian. I don't know. I can't tell. It's hard. You got your glasses and your hat on. I can't. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But I'm saying, do you think that it would be different if y'all didn't have a baby in common? Do you think your answer would be a little bit different if your baby wasn't from another nation, or do you what? You think you would still want all the nations to stay together? Okay. What about you? You seem like you on the edge with it. Like you damn near want to say you should get away from the people that's killing you.
It's kind of hard because everybody is against each other for their own purpose. To me, everything, I feel like everybody's here for money. That's the main reason. If they find on use for you, let's get rid of that race, everything, anything like that. But I still agree with my wife. Everybody still should be together because if we stay as one nation, we become stronger. Anything goes against us, we can destroy them. But it also depends who's controlling who.
Who's controlling who? Well, who would you say is controlling the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in America?
You already know the answer.
Just say it.
You really want me to say it, huh?
Yeah, just say it. Don't feel scared to say it, man. Just say it. It's all good.
The whites.
The white man. Okay, no sweat, man. Appreciate y'all's time. Y'all have a good day. Separate from the other nations, you know what I'm saying? I mean, every other nation, you know, the East Indies, they have their own nation, you know what I'm saying? The Arabs have their own nation, the Africans have their own nation, the so-called white man has his own nation, everybody has their own nation. Shouldn't the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans at this point separate from all the other nations? What do you think? I'm gonna ask you the same question today. What do you feel about the question?
I'm from India.
Okay, no sweat. Go ahead. So what do you think? You think we should separate from the other nations or stay joined to them?
My opinion is like stay joined, but not like brothers. Not like there shouldn't be any discrimination like whites or blacks. I feel like we have to be like a brothers. Everybody treat like a brothers.
So stay together and everybody be like brothers?
Yeah.
Okay, but since we've been here for over 450 years, we've been loving the white man. We built everything that they see in America, you know what I'm saying?
I got it.
So now that we done built this whole country up, I mean, and we're still getting murdered with no guns, with license when we got guns. I mean, when we do things right, we get killed. When we don't do things right, we get killed. I mean, I feel like at this point, the only thing is separation. But you say that you still think we should stay together or what?
I mean, like, if we start splitting people, we can find some more splits within the people. Here, I understand that black people are targeted by law enforcement. In my opinion, there needs to be some change in the law enforcement, so that to get people together.
So is it a police problem, a law enforcement problem, or is it a racist white man in uniform problem?
I see some people are like treat people like racists, and it's a police problem. There is a problem there as well that needs to be rectified by maybe a new government or some.
So a new government?
Maybe.
No sweat. So overall, you say separate or stay together?
I say stay together, be like brothers.
No sweat. What's your religion, man? You got religion?
I'm Hindu.
Hindu? That we should separate from the other nations at this point in time, or should we stay joined to the other nations and continue to get killed? What do you think about that? Put the camera on this. So, I mean, not that you're a racist, I'm saying, do you think that we should separate from the other nations, or do you think that we should stay joined to it, even though we're dying in the streets, or do you think we should separate?
Good question.
He says, a good question? It's a good question.
Yeah, this world is messed up, man, with all the, religion and stuff, and people, hate you because of your color, your skin, or your religion. I believe in Christ,
Right. We believe in Christ too.
Taught love one another. He never taught to be labeled people here and here and here, you know what I mean?
So do you think that over history, just looking back on history, do you think that the other nations have been loving the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? Or do you think that they've been showing hatred by killing us, raping us, pillaging, and oppressing us? I mean, do you believe in white supremacy? Do you believe in white supremacy? Okay, so now with the police, with the so-called Europeans killing the black people out here and the Hispanics, we've been seeing it with the cops and whatnot. Do you think that it's a police problem, or do you think it's a racist white man in uniform problem? You think it's a racist problem? Definitely.
Yeah, they're all, and they're German. I got German in me, but I'm not racist. They don't like blacks, they don't like Germans. The Germans don't like blacks or Jewish. You gotta start naming them.
I actually saw that Facebook video of that woman, man. I get that in her,
Yep.
you know her name. That had me screwed up, man.
Oh, you talking about the young girl they just killed in Maryland and shot the little boy just the other day?
Whatever, and the cop on the side, he was down for a wallet, and then they said,
Oh, Philando Castile. Yeah, the guy they killed in St. Paul just recently. Hey, brother, my name is I.S.U.P.K, Officer I.S.U.P.K, I'm the Commander General Yohanna, 1 West, Harlem, New York, 125th. You know what I'm saying? And we got this documentary that we're putting together. You understand? On separation. I just caught Jesse Jackson recently out there at the governor's mansion, and I asked him, I said, after being murdered in America for over 450 years by the other nations, don't you think that it's time for us to separate from the other nations? And the brother got hung up at the mouth, you know what I'm saying, and said there's nowhere to go. That was his answer, right? As a so-called black leader, that's the best he could come up with. So we out here right now asking the people, brothers like yourself, what do you think that we should do at this point in time? Do you think we should stay joined to the other nation, or do you think we should separate?
I think we gotta do what the Bible says.
That's right. And what the Bible say do?
Pretty much, man, you gotta just wait on Christ, man. You already know it. It's just gonna get worse.
Right.
Jacob's trouble.
Right. So are you familiar with like the Philando Castile, the brother who just got murdered over there in St. Paul, and then the brother down there in Louisiana that just got killed by another cop, and the girl that just got killed, what was that in? Is that in Michigan? What was that in? Maryland, right? Baltimore, Maryland or whatever, just recently, earlier today, been all over Facebook. The question is this. When you see the white cops killing black people, do you think that it's a police problem or a racist white man in a police uniform problem?
I mean, if I can, I think it's both. Because I think, you know, there's a lot of videos that compare our police training to other countries, and our police have no training whatsoever, really. And I think they're too quick, definitely, to jump to the gun.
So how does it make you feel, Nate? Watching them black men die like that on live on Facebook and all of that, how does that make you feel?
Honestly,
as a white man, I mean, when you gotta come outside, walk around, like being a so-called European, how does that make you feel knowing that European people are killing unarmed black people and everything else? Like, how does that make you feel about your nation?
It makes me feel sad. Like, because it makes me feel like, you know, this is kind of going back to the European stuff or whatever. I mean, you can almost say this is almost like Germany all over again. I mean, instead of the Jewish people, now it's the black people. And, you know, I think, yeah, definitely our cops are too quick to jump to use a gun. They use a gun when it's not necessary. And I think a lot of the black people who have died because of that, no, they didn't deserve it. I don't, like, they could have, if they did commit a crime, they could have committed so many different crimes, but a gun being pointed at them and being used on them was not the first thing that they should have done.
So with over 2 million black men in the penitentiary, with over what is it, over 2,000 black men being murdered in America every year. You say we still should stay together with the people that's killing us instead of separating?
I want you guys here. There's a ton of other people that want you here. We don't. It's not that we just want you here, it's that we do need you here.
I was going to ask you that. I was going to ask you, what do you think America would be like without the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans?
I mean, it's going to be dope. Like, I want so much more for the U.S., and we can't be all that we can be without people from our different races, different nationalities, different countries. So if we want to be what we say we are, then we need everybody to come together.
All right, no sweat, Nick. Thank you for your Nate. Yeah. No sweat, Nick. Thank you for your time.
I.S.U.P.K presents separating from the white man and America. We putting it all out. Come to the lecture. Learn how to separate from the white man and America. We gonna have our own. We gonna be on our own. We won't need the white man for a damn thing. I.S.U.P.K presents separate from the white man and America. Lecture with Officer GEN.YAHANNA of the I.S.U.P.K. September 24th. 300 Nicollet Mall, Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's going down.